Nathan, a young soldier who carried a brave spirit yet bore the weight of loneliness in the harsh battlefield, found a new light in his life when he met Thor, a loyal service dog. From the moment their eyes met, Nathan realized that Thor was not just a comrade but a true friend. In the early days on the battlefield, Nathan often felt immense pressure and tension. Yet, every time he saw Thor by his side, with eyes full of intelligence and unwavering trust, his heart felt renewed strength. When gunfire erupted, Thor never flinched but charged into danger, always ready to protect Nathan with his own life. Once, during an ambush, Nathan found himself trapped under heavy fire. Without hesitation, Thor leaped forward, shielding Nathan from the enemy and giving him a chance to escape. Nathan's heart swelled with gratitude and admiration for Thor's courage. Late at night, when everyone else was fast asleep, Nathan would sit beside Thor, stroking his soft fur and sharing thoughts he couldn't tell anyone else. Thor would silently listen, nuzzling his head into Nathan's lap and breathing gently as if offering comfort. This simple gesture made Nathan feel he was no longer alone. Their friendship was forged not only through battles fought side by side but also through the unspoken understanding between two souls. Nathan knew that no matter how brutal the war became, as long as Thor was by his side, he would never have to walk alone. The war dragged on, and the battles grew fiercer. Nathan and Thor continued to face countless dangers together, their bond strengthening with every passing day. But fate, unpredictable and cruel, was waiting for them on the battlefield. One fateful evening, their unit was ambushed during a reconnaissance mission. Chaos erupted as gunfire and explosions surrounded them. Nathan and Thor maneuvered through the chaos, guiding their team to safety. Just as they reached a safe point, an enemy grenade landed dangerously close to their position. Without a second's hesitation, Thor sprang forward, pushing Nathan out of harm's way. "Nathan," a teammate shouted, but his world had already slowed to a painful halt. Thor's body shielded Nathan from the explosion, taking the full impact. Nathan scrambled to his feet, his heart pounding with dread. When the dust cleared, he saw Thor lying motionless, his chest rising and falling faintly. Nathan knelt beside his loyal companion, tears streaming down his face. "Thor, no. Stay with me, buddy. Please." His hands trembled as he cradled Thor's head. Despite the searing pain, Thor opened his eyes one last time, looking at Nathan with a gaze filled with trust and love. Thor's tail wagged weakly, as if to reassure Nathan, before the light in his eyes dimmed and his body grew still. Nathan's cry echoed across the battlefield, a mix of anguish and gratitude. Even in his grief, he knew Thor's sacrifice had saved him and many others. As he carried Thor back to base, Nathan vowed that his friend's bravery and loyalty would never be forgotten. Thor was not just a dog, he was a hero, a brother, and proof that some friendships are so pure, they transcend even the final moment. Thor had always been a special dog, not just because of his strength and loyalty but because of an extraordinary sensitivity that went beyond instinct. He seemed to feel what others couldn't, emotions hidden beneath the surface, dangers lurking in shadows, and the subtle changes in the environment. One evening, as the soldiers prepared for a mission, Thor grew restless. He circled Nathan repeatedly, letting out low whines, his ears twitching toward the horizon. "What's wrong, boy?" Nathan asked, crouching to meet Thor's anxious gaze. But Thor didn't settle. Instead, he tugged gently at Nathan's sleeve, as if trying to pull him away from the group. The men laughed it off, brushing it aside as a dog's overreaction, but Nathan trusted Thor's instincts. "Guys, something's not right," he said, his voice firm despite their skepticism. Moments later, as the group advanced, the earth beneath them trembled. A hidden landmine had been triggered. Thanks to Thor's warning, they were able to stop just in time, narrowly avoiding a devastating explosion. The soldiers stood frozen, their breaths caught in their throats. "That dog, he just saved all our lives," one of them whispered, his voice trembling. Nathan knelt down, rubbing Thor's ears. "You did it again, buddy," he said softly, his voice filled with pride and gratitude. From that day, Thor became more than just a companion, he was a guardian angel for the entire unit. His sharp senses saved them on more than one occasion, whether it was detecting hidden traps or sensing an ambush before it happened. Thor's uncanny ability to feel and protect became a source of hope for the soldiers. Even in the darkest moments of war, they found comfort in his presence, knowing that his instincts and unwavering loyalty would guide them through the chaos. Thor was no ordinary dog. He was a silent hero, a beacon of light in a world shrouded by uncertainty, reminding everyone that courage and compassion could come in the most unexpected forms. Max wasn't like other dogs in the neighborhood. While most dogs barked at strangers or wagged their tails eagerly for treats, Max had an uncanny ability to sense emotions. His owner, Anna, often marveled at how attuned he was to her moods. On days when Anna came home exhausted from work, Max would quietly sit by her side, resting his head on her lap as if to say, "I'm here for you." If she ever cried, Max would fetch her a soft blanket and nudge her gently until she smiled. One winter evening, Anna received heartbreaking news. Her best friend had moved far away without saying goodbye. She sat on the couch, tears streaming down her face. Max immediately sensed her sadness. Instead of barking or pacing, he sat at her feet, looking up at her with his soulful eyes. Slowly, he reached out a paw, placing it on her knee. Anna couldn't help but chuckle through her tears. "You always know, don't you?" she said, stroking his fur. Max wagged his tail slowly, his presence a comforting reminder that she wasn't alone. It wasn't just Anna who noticed Max's sensitivity. Neighbors often commented on how Max seemed to gravitate toward anyone feeling down. Whether it was a lonely child at the park or an elderly man sitting alone on a bench, Max would sit beside them, offering silent, unconditional companionship. Max wasn't just a dog, he was a beacon of comfort and understanding, teaching everyone he met that even the smallest gestures of empathy could heal the deepest wounds. It was a calm afternoon in the quiet suburb where Anna lived. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over the neighborhood. Max, her ever-vigilant dog, was lying on the porch, his ears occasionally twitching at the distant hum of passing cars. Suddenly, he stood up, his body tense and his ears perked. A low growl escaped his throat, and his eyes fixed on the wooded area behind the house. "Max? What is it?" Anna called out, stepping onto the porch. She had never seen him this alert before. Max barked sharply, running back and forth between Anna and the edge of the yard. His movements were frantic, as if he was trying to convey something urgent. Anna's heart quickened. She trusted Max's instincts, knowing he never overreacted without a reason. Grabbing her flashlight, she followed him cautiously toward the woods. As they approached, Max suddenly blocked her path, barking furiously. That's when she saw it, a large tree, its branches swaying ominously in the wind, ready to topple over onto the power lines just a few feet away from their house. Realizing the danger, Anna quickly called the local utility company to report the hazard. Within minutes, workers arrived and safely removed the tree before it could cause any damage. Anna knelt beside Max, ruffling his fur. "Good boy, Max. You just saved us all." Max wagged his tail, his alert eyes now soft with satisfaction. To Anna, he wasn't just her pet, he was her guardian, always watching over her and keeping her safe. The quiet forest path was filled with the gentle rustle of leaves and the distant chirping of birds as Lily strolled through, enjoying her evening walk. The soft crunch of her boots against the dirt trail brought her a sense of peace. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. A snap of a twig behind her made her freeze. Her heart quickened, and she turned around slowly. Standing a few feet away was a tall figure, half concealed by shadows. His face was obscured by a hood, and his posture was tense. "Who's there?" Lily called out, her voice trembling slightly but firm enough to mask her fear. The figure stepped closer, and the glint of something metallic in his hand caught her eye. Lily's breath hitched as her mind raced. Fight or flight? Her instinct screamed to run, but her feet refused to move. Instead, she tightened her grip on the walking stick she carried, silently preparing herself for whatever might come next. The man hesitated, his eyes meeting hers. "I don't want trouble," he said gruffly, lowering the object in his hand. It was only a flashlight. The tension in the air shifted again, and Lily exhaled a shaky breath. "Then what do you want?" she asked cautiously, still on edge. "Just directions," he muttered, stepping fully into the dim light. His face, though weathered, bore no malice. Reluctantly, Lily lowered her walking stick and pointed toward the main trail. "That way. It'll take you to the main road." He nodded, muttering a quick, "Thanks," before disappearing into the shadows. As Lily watched him leave, her heart still pounded. The encounter had been brief, but it left her shaken and more alert than ever. She resolved to trust her instincts and stay prepared, knowing the forest could hold more surprises than she ever anticipated. Amid the stormy chaos of life's challenges, Emily's belief in her best friend, Sophie, remained unshaken. They had weathered countless trials together, some small, like misunderstandings over trivial matters, and others monumental, like the betrayal of those they once trusted. Yet, through it all, Emily held on to the unyielding conviction that Sophie would never abandon her. When Sophie was falsely accused of a mistake at work that could cost her career, Emily didn't hesitate. She stood by Sophie's side, gathering evidence to clear her name, even when others doubted her. "I know you," Emily had said firmly, her voice unwavering. "You're not capable of what they're saying." The long nights of sifting through files, the endless conversations to find witnesses, and the emotional toll of fighting for justice were daunting. Yet, Emily never faltered. Her trust in Sophie's integrity was like an anchor, steadying them both through the storm. When the truth finally came to light, and Sophie's name was cleared, her tears of gratitude spoke volumes. "You never doubted me," she whispered, her voice choked with emotion. Emily smiled, her own eyes glistening. "How could I? Faith in you is something I'll never lose." Their bond, strengthened by the ordeal, became a testament to the enduring power of trust. For Emily, believing in Sophie was never a choice but a certainty, one that no storm could ever erase.